Welcome to my channel where myself, a liberal ex-Christian, talks about politics, religion, and culture. You know, I'm a simple man. I see a video of someone dragging Pearl Davis, aka just Pearly Things. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to watch it and I'm going to laugh. Pearl went from being enraging to just being a lol cow. And just the other day, we have a new video that dropped talking about the fall of just Pearly Things. Most toxic pick me from Cruel World Happy Mind. I'm not too familiar with this creator's content. Seems pretty interesting. Seems like she does a lot of the fall of type videos. I'm only going to be watching the last 25 minutes or so of this 2-hour, 20-minute video. A lot of the stuff that she talks about has already been covered in the past, and I just don't feel like reacting to the whole thing. I don't think that's going to be very valuable. However, the whole video is definitely worth a watch. She presents things in her own unique way and gives good, valuable insight. Definitely worth a full watch. But this last little bit here is going to cover some of the more recent things that she's been getting into, and I want to kind of react to it all in a consolidated bit here. Again, the video name is The Fall of Just Pearly Things, Most Toxic Pick Me, Cruel World, Happy Mind. Let's see what she has to say.
23, Colleen Ballinger's botched ukulele non-apology video for her many controversies went viral. Pearl, seemingly wanting to ride that attention wave, posted a video on YouTube titled, "Why Can't We Talk About the Jews?" where she played the guitar while singing about Holocaust.
This is probably the most unhinged thing that she has done yet. And she has done some incredibly unhinged things, but just like how much of an attention addict do you have to be to do this? It's so cringe.
Conspiracy theories.
But this week, she's facing a major backlash for posting a song titled "Why Can't We Talk About the Jews?" before later deleting it.
She looked absolutely flabbergasted that Piers would bring this up, even though it was like that week that she had posted it and then deleted it. Like, you really think he wasn't going to bring that up? Really?
Why can't we talk about without getting kicked off of YouTube? Now, I'm not saying there was a good guy, but I kind of want to know why.
She
Just for future reference, when people say this, they don't really want to know why. They don't really have genuine questions. Because if you have genuine questions, that event is probably the most studied and most documented event in all of world history. If you have questions, there are answers for your questions. But when these people say stuff like this, they're not just asking questions. They are smuggling in their own assertions and claims in the form of a question. Because they're too cowardly to come out and say it with their chest. So yeah, just FYI, there is a website called the Holocaust Encyclopedia. This is a great starting point if you have genuine questions about that event. You can find answers there.
even claimed to think that some of the out there theories are right.
Now there's all these conspiracy theories, and the more they talk, I think maybe they're right. But I can't even listen to the convo.
But like most of Pearl's,
she doesn't even have the charisma to like confidently pull off this grift. Like, to some degree, I think that she really believes a lot of this stuff, but also a lot of this stuff, I think she knows that she is being ridiculous. She can't even keep a straight face when she's doing it.
content that garners a lot of backlash, Pearl can't handle the heat, and Pearl would go on to delete this video 24 hours after posting. But of course, many people recorded this video.
And then she like wonders how or why she got demonetized. Like, and why do you want to even be on, you know, woke YouTube anyways? Go get on Rumble with all the other free speech lunatics.
And started spreading it across social media. Piers Morgan then invited her onto his talk show where he pushes back on her and her video fairly strongly.
Huh? Did you find it funny? I mean, you know the backlash to it.
I don't know why she engages with people publicly like this. Like, she always looks like a deer in the headlights whenever she gets asked like a mildly tough question.
I mean, you deleted it. You obviously thought you shouldn't have posted it.
Mm-hmm. She has millions of viewers on the internet and on social media, and she's complaining about being canceled. The crisis is that this is what is profitable now. This clickbait, this type of racial incitement is profitable on the internet. Pearl will disappear. She will disappear like many others before her because this is something that's just a moment in time. She's like a train wreck. It's like a car crash. You know, for example, you know you shouldn't be looking at it, but you can't take your eyes off it.
While Piers Morgan...
It's so interesting, too, that she talks so much about women never wanting to take accountability, never wanting to take responsibility for things, but like she never can for anything. She always diverts or moves attention away from her or acts dumb whenever she gets called out on something or plays the victim. It's like, no, you're not being canceled. People are just saying, hey, why did you do this? This was incredibly dumb of you to do and insensitive.
In this circumstance seems to stand against what Pearl says and gives her a lot of pushback. Pearl had previously appeared on the Piers Morgan talk show a couple of times and received very minimal pushback for her controversial views from Piers Morgan.
But feminists have ruined marriage for the people that actually believe in marriage.
The sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin, so you wouldn't be able to get married.
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity,
yeah, and I think it's just like, I don't think that she's even. I think she's becoming increasingly black pilled, which is where it's like beyond red pill, which is basically like getting into incel territory, where you just like give up on marriage, you give up on long-term relationships. That seems to be where she's heading. I think that's kind of the only direction that she can head from here. She's definitely no longer red pilled, and a lot of the red pill people have disowned her or don't want anything to do with her. Conservatives, traditional conservatives don't want anything to do with her, and so increasingly, like, the only audience she has left are like black pilled incels and anti-Semites.
sanctity of marriage, I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually live by.
This is the problem we have with women. Like, men tend to be better people than us. Yeah, they really do.
Giving her a platform.
That was one of the reasons why she was demonetized, was continually saying that women were worse than men morally, and also like dumber on an intellectual level, just like across the board. And that is like, saying stuff like that is against YouTube terms of service. Like, you can't like repeatedly be like mocking or denigrating an entire group of people for being who they are, you know, like you can't do that.
Platform to spread her view.
And this stupid woman, apparently when trying to appeal her demonetization, asked YouTube if she could scientifically prove that women were dumber than men, if she could get her monetization back. And they were like, no, what are you talking about?
and her brand. Piers Morgan hadn't really held her accountable for any of her statements until now. Pearl blamed a lot of the backlash that she received from this video on cancel culture. But what Pearl didn't seem to realize is that she can say whatever she wants online because she has said whatever she wants to say online. It's the natural consequence of what she says that she can't seem to handle when she receives pushback or backlash, which is why Pearl consistently deletes all of her older videos, wants to avoid confrontational conversations whenever she's confronted about her behavior.
Exactly. And I think there's like cancel culture has been beat to death. It just hardly means anything anymore. Like, you can't be canceled and then go on a media circuit, going on to Piers Morgan multiple times, speaking with Michael Knowles. She did that interview recently, starting a YouTube network, having your dad buy you a warehouse for you to start this network in. Yeah. Cancel culture is not when you experience the consequences of your actions.
Pearl's appearance on the show, she went on an angry Twitter rant claiming she was censored.
Pearl's Twitter is unhinged. If you're not easily rage baited, it's super entertaining to follow her on Twitter. It's just if you get baited easily, it will drive you crazy. Also, there's a theory that she like regularly drunk tweets. She just does some crazy stuff late at night.
Censored by Piers Morgan and his team. Why does @Piers Morgan believe in censorship with a platform called Uncensored? She also claimed that the producers lied to her and said that it was going to be a pro-free speech debate and that they ambushed her with talk about her controversial video. Piers responded saying, "You did an incredibly stupid thing with your now deleted video. As I said to you after our interview, own your mistake and apologize for the offense you caused."
You get on, and Pierce says, "I'm going to go hard on you this time," something like that. And I'm like, "Oh, really?" And I'm shocked because his producers have said all week he's on my side. So I'm like, what? It's like, I'm thinking this is a free speech general conversation. I could show you these emails with someone else on it. And
Show them. Show the receipts. I don't believe anything she ever says without receipts, because anytime that she like cites a study or something like that, you go look at the study, and typically it like supports the opposite of her opinion of what she's trying to cite it for, or just like doesn't even say anything about what she is citing it for. She has horrible journalistic integrity.
And then I get on and I'm like, oh no, this is an ambush, which they promised me they wouldn't do. I was like, Pierce, what about our promise? I think we should start calling this Censored with Piers Morgan.
That's not... What about that is censorship? Also, have you not watched Piers Morgan's show? That's like his whole thing. The whole thing is to be dramatic and... Yeah.
And I'd also like to announce that I'm starting a network of my own. I'm calling it the Audacity Network, because we...
Oh, great. Great advertising, PR. Great role out there, Pearl.
have the audacity to have on all different types of people.
Pearl just wants a platform to spread harmful narratives with little pushback, which is not how social media works. It may be how very selective echo chambers work, but once you reach the broader space of social media, that's not how it works. And
I think that's kind of her only play at this point, her only option for making money. Because I don't think the monetization is ever coming back for YouTube. It just depends on how many people are going to be willing to pay for a whole ass streaming service to watch Pearl's content, and the few talents that she has brought on board so far, and maybe may bring in the future. I think that we'll talk about that in a bit.
That's why Pearl announced after this controversy the creation of her own platform where she can have her own space to say her own narratives with zero.
And see, it's just like, I don't know how much of that is like, was like planned, intentional. Like, yeah, I'm going to make this crazy song and then like leverage it to get on Piers Morgan, then have all this controversy, and then leverage that into this streaming network. I don't know how much of that would be thought out. Interesting if it would be. Wouldn't be surprised. Also wouldn't be surprised if she's just like bumbling along with this, because she does constantly just like upload stuff and then take it down right away. It's just like she just does it in a drunken stupor or something.
Pushback. And maybe Pearl assumed that these controversial viral moments were going to lead to a ton of clicks and views, which would channel easily into a business venture, as all of her controversial predecessors have been able to easily accomplish. But at the end of the day,
so yeah, talking about this now, I think that her popularity grew initially, and she grew very quickly on YouTube because of her show, The Pregame. And basically, like, if you've ever seen clips of Pearl, it's probably from this show where she was in London. She had multiple guests on to talk about various topics, and it would just get really intense, and there'd be a lot of fighting, and the questions would just be off the wall. And typically it would be Pearl just like posing a question and then the people fighting about it. And occasionally it would be her speaking a little bit more at length. And so, and she kind of leveraged that into clipping those up into shorts. And she really gamed the short system really well on YouTube and TikTok. And that's what she gained her following off of. I don't think a whole lot of people were watching the long form content, like the whole show. It was really those intense, short, bite-sized clips that people liked a lot, and either liked as like a red pill kind of person, or just stirred up engagement, because obviously a lot of people would disagree with whatever topic was being brought up. And so that's really how she kind of built her channel. And then for whatever reason, after that show kind of fell apart and she moved back to America, she has started doing like solo content and still like bringing people on, but like it seems like she's trying to do somewhat of like a Piers Morgan kind of show mixed with some other shows from the Daily Wire. But I think what she didn't realize is that I think very, very few people were ever came to her channel for her specifically, for her personality, for her specific viewpoints or insight into things. They came for the drama. They came for the fights. They came for the other people that she brought on to her show. And I think that to some degree that she realizes that a lot of her popularity was built off the backs of other people. And so I think that's kind of what she's doing with her network here, is like, hey, if I can not have to be like the main face or like just the face of my content or my business, if I can just kind of like bankroll it because my dad can bankroll it and just kind of be a little more hands off and bring other people in, then it will be successful. And she's definitely getting more views on this kind of newer stuff than she was for a while doing her like more stripped down solo content, but it's still nowhere near what she used to do, because again, I don't think anyone is coming here for her long form content, whether it was her content or some of these other people that she's brought on. It's just not that interesting or engaging, especially not so much that you would go off of YouTube, off of any social media site, to a private website to pay for a streaming service is essentially what it is. Like it's you know, like Daily Wire Plus or something like that. Very few people were even wanted to engage with her free YouTube content. And so it'd be interesting to see how many people are willing to pay. I think it's just like $5 a month, but like still, that's a big ask. That's a huge ask for an audience that I don't think that she has built loyalty with. And so we'll see how long it lasts. I don't know if she had like a specific producer or media guy that was really killing the shorts game for her. I don't know why she's gotten away from that, or because you could still, you know, you can still do good off of shorts alone, but you have to keep up with that. You can't really transfer over to long form content and expect people to follow you to that. And the content she is making now, really the only thing that's coming out of that is like stuff for us to laugh at, like the music that she did, the songs that she's been doing before the show. And then like a few clips from like some interviews that she's done, like with Michael Knowles. Other than that, like you just don't see clips of her shows going around anywhere, because they are really boring and nothing really exciting or dramatic is happening. A lot of them are just like 2.5 hour long yap or cope sessions about, she's done like several streams now about one girl in particular, Nala Fitness, who used to be like an OnlyFans model and supposedly converted to Christianity and has like changed her life now, and Pearl hates it. She just like cannot let it be. And so she has made hours and hours of content on that. And it's just like, it's who wants to watch this? Like even the red pill people don't give a shit about this, you know? So she's not a good business person. I think that her initial popularity was built off of the backs of other people, of the smarts and ingenuity of other people. And I think she is floundering.
Pearl may have been missing one key factor: likability. Just having enough likability for a small subsect of people to want to support your business venture. Because some people can click on a short segment of a video and like what you have.
And yeah, like you don't even need a whole lot of people to like make a full-time income doing content creation. You just need like dedicated people. But I don't think Pearl has that.
To say, but will they like your personality enough to follow you and continue to buy?
This website is so rough. I've like looked through this website. Some like whole pages are like big like hero cards. Like all the text and everything on here is all like an image, and that's like not how you're supposed to design a website. Like you can have an image in the background here, and then like any text or stuff that you have on it needs to be like coded in, instead of like just making it into a picture and then putting it on your website so that it can dynamically adjust. And it's like very pixelated. The Photoshop job on these people here is horrendous. It's either Pearl doing it or having somebody else do it that doesn't know what they're doing. Super lazy. Yeah.
Buy what you're selling. For Pearl, it seems that was her ultimate downfall. So Pearl went on to create the Audacity Network in 2023 with the goal of, in Pearl's words, being like a TV network, but for YouTube.
So, this
It's so strange too, because her mom is like a boss, absolute boss woman. Like, ran or still runs, I don't know, a like software company. Huge supporter of like women entrepreneurs. And I have to feel like Pearl has some like resentment, mommy issues going on.
year, I started a network.
And what the network is it kind of like, the way I saw it was sort of like a TV network, but on YouTube, where we have different shows that we host and different. I'm just a really creative person, so it's funny.
Sure.
I never really look at work as working. I mean, like, occasionally I do, but to me, I'm just having a good time.
Pearl was
Must be nice. I think there's some jobs you can do that, but it makes it really easy when you are come from a wealthy family and don't really have to worry about the quality or the effort that you put into your work.
posting this video for the purpose of trying to scout internet talent so that they could apply for the Audacity network. But also, they have to pitch the show idea to her because the talent that she signs to the Audacity network can't just do exactly what she does.
Now we're looking to sign talent. Now, guys, the issue.
I mean, I think that's fair, but also, like, I feel like there's a lot of people that could do what she does a lot better, and Pearl could just stop making content and go hands off and just be like the CEO or something of the company, and it would do better. But
I'm getting is you guys keep applying with the same exact show that I do. So you'll be like, Pearl, I want to do a show where we bring in people and talk about relationships. I'm like, well, guys, that's the exact same thing. So what am I looking for in a talent? Someone that has a unique idea for a show, that is a self-starter.
I would be really interested to see, like, how this is structured, if she's like contracting with these people, or just like sponsoring them, or like getting a cut of their ad revenue, or if they're like W-2 employees. That'd be interesting. Does she have like an HR department?
So a hard worker, and they have like original ideas of things that they can do. Yeah, I think that's like pretty much.
Damn, if they're the talent and they're putting together the entire concept of an added show, what are you doing? The Audacity Network homepage advertises
So much of this verbiage on the website too, like, it just feels so ChatGPT written. I hope soon we can get to a place where we can like tell with 100% certainty whether something was written with AI, and it's just so cringe when that happens. But there's so much of this is just like horribly weird.
itself by saying, dive into the ultimate media hub where freedom of speech and expression isn't just a right, it's a vibe. Break free from the norm as we champion diverse perspectives, challenge the status quo, and spark a revolution in dynamic content. It's more than just a platform, it's a movement. The thing is, you have to pay to gain access to
$9.99 a month. That's more than I thought it was.
these vibes. You could pay $10 a month or $80 a year. The Audacity Network also claims to give you access to exclusive courses, but as of now, there's only one course available, and that's the How to Make People Feel Comfortable course, because Pearl is very skilled at that. People all across the internet
She is the most socially awkward person I've ever seen.
are made extremely comfortable by Pearl's inclusive viewpoints and statements. I mean, everyone knows that the easiest way to make someone be comfortable is to always be against them. Choose violence, always. Pearl has her own page on the Audacity Network site, showcasing the
That's such a bad photo.
always. Pearl has her own page.
Why would you make this your photo on your, like, About Me page? Like, you got the typical white smile, like, eyes look exhausted. And you never want to have, like, anytime you're taking photos, you never want to be, like, straight face on, because even if you're, like, just like a normal framed person, you're going to look like a linebacker. You always want to be like a little bit to the side like this, or you just want to be always at least a little bit off center. Also, you never want to have like fully exposed arms like this. This never looks good in photos. So anytime you're doing like wedding photos or any kind of photos really. If someone has like sleeveless or something, you want to have like some kind of, you want to have like a shawl to come over the arm or something like that, or something blocking that, because it's always going to look just like a slab of, it sounds crude, but just like a slab of meat on your side right here, and it never looks flattering. It's just some photography advice from somebody who was a photographer for a while.
Page on the Audacity Network site showcasing the variety of what I can only assume is riveting.
See, like this is a much better photo right here. Like Pearl can take a decent photo.
Entertaining and informative content at every turn. On the platform are the pages of her other cohorts, Christine, which, just to note, the Christine Grace Smith of her name, which is a very average white woman name, is trademarked. How on earth can someone even trademark a name like Christine Grace Smith? How did you run that by the trademark office? And now can no one else in the world be named Christine Grace Smith, lest they face legal repercussions from this angry looking white lady who will go after them and try and sue them? And if so, is she...
Okay, so apparently, because personal names fall into a trademark category known as descriptive marks, you usually can't register your name as a trademark unless you can also show that it has a secondary meaning, which is usually acquired through advertising or long use. So I'm thinking like Walmart, right? No. I don't know, like Walton's or something, or McDonald's, you know, those are technically names, but, you know, they've become, through advertising and long use, like trademarkable. Something tells me there's no way to, through advertising, make Christine Grace Smith trademarkable, and I doubt that she's been around long enough to do that.
Maybe doing a service to the world, saving others from the name of Christine Grace Smith. If your name is Christine Grace Smith, I'm so sorry. There's also a page for the employee.
This guy looks like I don't know his name, but you know, like the fragrance guy that's on TikTok, that's like reviews fragrances or goes around and like, can I smell what you're wearing, and like leans into people and smells what they're wearing. That's what he looks like.
Troy, and his page looks like he's some sort of true crime novel author.
So again, like, this is such Troy fearlessly navigates the complexities of modern dating, offering candid discussions, insightful analysis, and practical tips on cold approaches and relationship dynamics. His show provides invaluable insights and strategies for success in matters of the heart. So like, ChatGPT especially will often give you like these kind of answers, like fearlessly navigates the complexities. It's like it kind of sounds like you're in like middle school or high school writing a paper, and you're like trying to go through the thesaurus to like figure out the best way to describe things. And so they probably like gave it a few parameters of what exactly they were looking for, and that's what it came up with. Or they just got a really generic copywriter, I don't know.
And this is his big writer's debut, which sounds way more fun and interesting than what his content actually is, which is really just cringy pickup artistry. And lastly, there's Nazarin, whose page looks like it doesn't belong here. It gives off cool, witchy vibes, but in actuality, her page is dedicated to tinfoil hat theories that your uncle probably found off of a Facebook page. So how
I feel like these would be really interesting to review. I don't know how, it'd probably be hard because it's like all paywalled content. But that especially would be really interesting.
captivating is this chosen talent of Pearl's? Well, about as captivating as Pearl herself. Troy has about as much charisma as my left toenail. Though to be fair, it is a very charismatic toenail. Troy is a dating expert, a pickup artist who helps men pick up women off of the streets. Literally, that's where he does most of his content. So let's watch Troy expertly navigate the streets, flirting with his small mic flailing in hand, a camera awkwardly aimed somewhere nearby. What does this Riz genius have to offer to the world?
Okay, because we're in Palenque now. You're obviously a very classy lady. You're obviously, you know.
Oh my lord, it looks so different in video here too.
Used to a certain kind of lifestyle, so you'd want to maintain that, right? You're obviously a very pure, innocent woman and very, very, very good principles.
Ew. Brother, what? Man, all this guy has got going for him is his accent.
This is what we like. This is what we like. Traveling around, doing some work and stuff. And you tonight, you go to the party, or what is your plan?
Now I'm waiting for my friend.
Oh, nothing. Okay. Steen Grace Smith, TM. I can't help but admit that I have a little bit of a soft spot for, a bit of a personal bias as a fellow video essayist. When I watch some of her content, I can't help but be like, I can fix you. Because she will actually do some research and talk about some studies, at least more than any of Pearl's content that I've ever seen. And there's a genuine feeling that she really does want to help women with her content.
Pair bonding is a biological, neurological mechanism. It was first derived in 1987 by people called...
The whole pair bonding thing has been absolutely debunked. I don't know why we're still talking about it.
Called Hassan and Shaver. When an individual...
If it were true, then a mother with multiple children would stop being able to bond with her kids after a couple.
Chooses to engage in...
And also, like, they think it only applies to, like, intimate physical connections, but, like, it's with... The studies were like with everything, so like friendships, any sort of connection, and it just shows that it's just not true.
Transient set, breaking bond after bond from each new partner that they're with. The brain forms a new synaptic map of one-night stands, and this pattern of attach break becomes the new normal for the individual. There's an article that explains this. It's really easy to digest.
Though she tries to boil down really complex topics in really simple ways. And
so yeah, something that really turns me off in video essays is if you don't really give good sources, or if I can tell that you are pushing an agenda with something that doesn't really align with the source material that you're using, or if you're like trying to abuse or twist a source material to fit your narrative, that's a big turnoff.
At the very end of her video, she comes to a very disturbing opposite world wrong conclusion. Like after so much research, still at the very end, her analysis is that women are in the wrong, feminism evil, and you have to submit further to men.
It's these same feminists that preach about female empowerment as an excuse to indulge in promiscuous behaviour, that also shame the ideal of being a wife. And where's the love there? If you can't already tell, I do not agree with anything that feminism alleges to...
There's nothing wrong with being promiscuous. There's also nothing wrong with being a wife. And there's just not a whole lot of feminists out there that I think shame people for wanting to be wives or being wives. It just doesn't happen that much. And if they do, it's silly. They can certainly shame the idea of being a wife if they don't want to be one. That's fine. But she's shaming the idea of being promiscuous, so what's the problem?
Stand for.
If I showed too much of Nazarine's content, YouTube will not like that. Suffice to say, she believes pretty much every out there thing you can think of. And her Twitter is a very interesting place.
Trying to make us eat fake meat.
and bugs.
Can you say your name one more time?
Sneeko. I feel like I remember seeing this video for some reason. I don't remember what they talked about. I just remember Sneeko was freaking awkward and trying to flirt with her the whole time. I'm gonna look up her. Nazarin Veronica. Cross in bio.
Nazarin. Yeah.
I'm Sneeko.
Sneeko.
It was great to meet you.
You too. Nice to meet you.
When perusing the Audacity Network website, the message board is pretty hilarious because it just showcases who has actually.
Here's their Twitter. 22-year-old participant in the human experiment, otherwise known as BBC2. Unvaccinated exposed Bill Clinton and Fauci live on Talk TV. Okie dokie. Are these all pinned? Does she not have any recent tweets? Yikes. Four years on and she's still yapping about the vaccines. All right. Interesting.
Actually purchased from the Audacity Network. And first off, it is not many people. And the people that have are technologically not savvy or from an older population. Like there was someone who couldn't figure out how to view the content in the Audacity Network. Another person who talked about being 65 and how Pearl is a breath of fresh air to them. The Audacity Network also has an alarming merch store that sells merchandise with text such as "She belongs in."
What? Is that legal? How can you sell merch with somebody else's tweet on it? And isn't the idea of merch to like market your brand at least somewhat? Otherwise you're just like trying to be a clothing company on top of this Audacity Network thing. Like what?
In the streets. The Audacity Network itself and its talent has mostly women in it. So yeah, that's a good look. But the funniest thing about this merch is that it's another person's tweet on it. I understand if you're selling merch with your own tweet on it maybe, but the "She Belongs in the Streets" merch features a tweet from Future. Which just has nothing to do with Pearl and the Audacity Network, if I'm not mistaken. They also sell what they call whale merch, a callback to when Pearl called other women whales, where the
Is it wearing a diaper? What?
T-shirts describe different types of whales, and then on it has entitled "Whale Beware." On the Audacity Network merch store, Pearl has also sold the "Women Shouldn't Vote" t-shirt.
High level meme right there.
Shirts.
All right, what up, guys? Today I have my "Women Shouldn't Vote" t-shirt. These t-shirts are the best in the game. Super soft, amazing. You will never find a t-shirt like this in your life. And it's amazing because I go out and I'm on the streets and everyone comes up to me and just asks me where I bought this t-shirt. You can get yours too at the AudacityNetwork.store. That's the AudacityNetwork.store. Get your t-shirts.
No! God, please, no!
It's just all around a class act production, obviously. I mean, at least I guess they can say it's original merchandise, but not even because they're selling a shirt with someone else's tweet on it. The Audacity Network overall has no delusions about who they are. They're 4 white people with what they call diverse opinions. As they said via their homepage, break free from the norm as we champion diverse perspectives. Both the Audacity Network and the merch store are copyrighted by Just Pearly Things LLC. So the network is not owned by a larger company with Pearl just the face of it. It's Pearl's own company that she's trying to run. Though, are we sure that she isn't just running the company for a government grant or something? I mean, there's gotta be some other dude that's actually running things apart from Pearl, if you ask.
Probably her dad.
Me. Well, though Pearl had dreams of running the Audacity network like a TV network for YouTube, very soon after starting the network, virtually all of Pearl's other avenues for making income went up in flames. Pearl's YouTube channel ended up getting fully demonetized. Pearl went straight to Twitter, claiming she had no idea why her channel was demonetized and that it happened out of the blue with no warning from YouTube.
Pearl is indeed playing dumb.
But according to others, there have been some claims that Pearl tried to take her YouTube content too far and, well, received consequences from YouTube.
Let's look at this complaint here that was sent from a young lady who was complaining to YouTube about the exploitation.
I know there was rumors that this is why she got demonetized in the beginning, but I don't think it really was. May have been a part of it. I think it was for a multitude of reasons. One was because she was continually using the T slur against transgender people. Two was misogynistic rhetoric. And to my knowledge, she said that she deleted like 20,000 videos. It was like almost 100 million views that she deleted off her channel, like in a bid to get remonetization. And it's like, how much terms of service stuff are you violating, Pearl? This is insane what happened here. I don't think this was like the reason she got demonetized though.
Of her sister. So she at Pearl and says, the TikToker slash YouTuber Pearl stopped my 15-year-old sister and her school friends on the street to ask them invasive questions about sex on her YouTube channel. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. She made several cut downs of the videos and has subjected them to abuse from the hashtag Red Pill community. Now, this is something that's very important because that's harassment. That's against terms of service. So get ready for a daggone community guideline strike there, Pearl. Mm-hmm.
And Pearl even kept this video in question up after all the backlash. Pearl even seemed to back up this person's claims on Twitter, responding to their post and saying that it was them and their reports who got their channel demonetized.
I have never even heard of this situation till this week. You have gotten my channel demonetized by mass reporting me, which affects the 15 people that work for my company who have families and mouths to feed. Then you falsely accuse me of asking some chick from a year ago about sex. Notice the use of chick to describe what.
I just don't believe that even at the height of her popularity that her channel was doing well enough to pay a company of 15 people. Like maybe like part-time contractors doing like a couple hours worth of work a week, maybe one full-time person, plus Pearl not really taking that much money for herself. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to run a company, if you're going to run a content creation company, which, you know, that's what all professional content creators are, but if you're going to have employees, it's on you to be responsible enough to follow YouTube terms of service. But she didn't do that. That's on her. She has to take responsibility for that and not blame these children.
What was alleged to be a 15-year-old girl. I actually went and found the video right here. I'm not going to show the girls in the video, but you'll see here that she writes in the title, "These girls were so clueless." You will also see that the girls were in the intro or the teaser of the video. So there seems to be some admission that these were girls and not women.
Of course, this was not the only terrible thing that Just Pearly Things has posted to YouTube. Pearl has posted and then quickly deleted probably an innumerable amount of things that could qualify as demonetizable offenses. And she's hosted a lot of people on her YouTube channel that YouTube has made clear that it does not want associated or on their platform. But this situation may have been the straw that broke the camel's back. And after Pearl got demonetized, her viewership plummeted. The very little social media power that she held in her hands slipping from her fingers. Since then, Pearl has tried to reapply for monetization.
Yeah, since shortly after her demonetization and she stopped like making content as much, and when she came back, she was getting like struggling to get like 10K views on a video with like, see how many subs she has.
So everyone knows.
So yeah, 1.98 million subscribers, and wow, she has deleted. Oh my goodness. She has oh my goodness. The last video goes back to 5 months. She has deleted so many videos. I did not realize. So yeah, a lot of her videos here were like, the worst of it was like before the last video she posted, but a lot of them were like struggling to get like 15K views. She had some here and there that would get a little bit more, but like these are terrible numbers for a channel with 1.98 million subscribers. Like she should be getting like 500K minimum on every video. Yeah, and even these newer ones are struggling to get over 100K, going up a little bit. Man, not looking good for her.
But YouTube is not putting up with it. But this leads to Pearl tweeting via YouTuber O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Time for remonetization early February. I was demonetized for saying the word. We'll block that. Since then, I've let go of 3 employees and lost over 100K. I don't know if that's 100,000 subscribers or $100,000. YouTube gave me 0 strikes, 0 warnings. They play with people's livelihoods.
So with no other income, Pearl is probably relying more and more on the Audacity network. But with her YouTube channel down the drain, her TikTok accounts getting constantly banned, Pearl has very few social media avenues to actually promote the Audacity network. The money that Pearl has been making has likely taken a huge nosedive. All those employees Pearl tried to exploit, Pearl is now slowly letting go. What was supposed to be a grift that would last Pearl at least a few years so that she could get her network off the ground and capitalize off of outrage marketing, died out almost as quickly as it started. Now, in a desperate attempt to grasp at Pearl's slipping platform, since she lost her ability to monetize her content, and most people believe her to be a grifter, lending less.
So looking at her social blade here, these are her views over the last 30 days. Even if she was monetized and was earning like the maximum for each video, we're looking at like maybe $3,200 for the month. And that's not bad for like, you know, a almost full-time YouTuber. You know, if you're living like very modestly, that could be a full-time income for somebody if that was consistent. Not for a company with 15 employees. So I don't think that she's really missing out on money, even if she was monetized. She has a D- ranking, and yeah, like I said, 95.5 million negative views in the last 30 days. That's because of how many that she has deleted. That is a lot of views, and I feel like probably most of those come from shorts. So yeah, you can see here where she kind of gained her big spike of subs during this period from October 2022 to January 2023. So that 3-month period, she had like a flash pan viral rise to fame. Like I said, built off of those shorts that she was putting out from that specific show. And then she has just been kind of coasting since then, and not gaining as many subscribers since, and then looks like she is starting to lose some subscribers now.
Credibility to the things that she says, Pearl has gone full-blown troll mode, creating badly composed songs on her daily show in hopes that they go viral online.
Be the villain if that's what you gotta believe. If they criticize me at all costs, I know maybe that hope is lost. There's more to gain from lying than telling the truth. So I'll be.
You can watch my video to this reaction. I will post this here somewhere.
I love the comment that says the tortured pick-me department.
I'll be the demon if that's what you need. I'll be the villain if that's what you got.
It's easy to believe that what you say online has no impact. I think that many people who end up in this sort of grifting through spreading a harmful rhetoric path to con themselves into believing that selling themselves out for a grift won't be harmful. That because they're only one person.
It would be, all things aside, it would be hard to be in that position because I mean, ultimately it's not, because you can just get a real job, or, you know, be behind the scenes. Like, you don't need to make content, but like if you're really wanting to be a content creator and you get like stuck in this, cycle of making this specific kind of content and really digging in with this specific audience, it's really hard to break free from that or to pivot and do something else. Because you're gonna lose the audience, what little audience that you do have, and then gaining a whole new audience is really hard. And it would be especially hard for her because like nobody's gonna like buy whatever pivot she does. She is not really an interesting content creator. She is an incredibly lazy content creator. She does not do good research. Whenever she does like any kind of editing on her own, she just like leaves in large swaths of dead air and like her like Googling stuff on her phone. So yeah, I mean, I don't feel any like sympathy for her at all, but I can see how it'd be very easy for someone to get stuck with the golden handcuffs of having this one specific kind of content that also happens to be incredibly toxic, to be the one thing that gets you attention and money. And that's what you're stuck with.
And their words and their statements couldn't possibly have that much impact, especially if other people are doing it. Why shouldn't they try and make a quick buck and capitalize off of the grift too? But now more than ever, it's important to have balanced conversations where all groups of people can be respected, where we look beyond the ruse of those who are making shocking statements just for the.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like at the end of the day, like there's one woman in particular that I think really hit the nail on the head like 2 years ago, that basically like asked her like, what's the purpose of what you're doing? Like, what are you contributing to the world? If you're only just like tearing people down and putting negativity out into the world, what good is that going to do you? What good is that going to do the world? It's going to suck your soul dry, and you are not going to have any sort of long-term career. You're going to build an audience of incredibly toxic people that will turn on you at turn on you on a dime. It's sad.
The sole purpose of grabbing our attention. People who are making enemies out of everyone for the purpose of making a quick buck at the expense of our cultural well-being. Much of the reason why Pearl's platform failed is because she didn't understand that in order to gain some sort of loyal following, you still have to stand for something, apart from just hating everything. Because those who stand...
Yeah, another big critique I have of her is like, she's not even consistent with her own stuff. Like, on one hand, she will say that women need to get married as young as possible. They need to get married really young. And then now she's saying that, you know, men marry these young women and then they end up divorcing them and taking the children and ruining their lives. And that's just like, marriage is not even a good deal anymore. Men shouldn't get married until like the divorce laws are changed or something. And like, she wants divorce to be outlawed. And then she'll say like, men should be able to get divorced if they're cheated on. It's just like none of it is coherent or makes sense or is like has any sort of like undergirding principles or foundational beliefs. It's just incredibly reactionary against women.
And for nothing can fall for anything, which is what we seem to have seen recently with the fall of some of the biggest influencers in the manosphere. That's all for the video on Just Pearly Things. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. As always, I appreciate you and I hope that it was an enjoyable watch. And if you were doing something like studying, working, doing chores, I hope this was entertaining to help pass the time. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. If you want to get started on Rocket Money for free, go to rocketmoney.com/cruelworldhappymind or click the link in the description. Also, thank you so much to my team for helping putting together this video. I hope you all are doing well and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Thank you, Cruel World Happy Mind. So yeah, go watch that full video. The rest of it's really good. Enjoyed her insight. Immaculate vibes. If you use Rocket Money, go find that code and use it. Yeah, I will always take an opportunity to check in with Pearl and see how she is faring, and it's not going great. So thank you for watching. I will see you next time.